Chapter 18. Liberation through Renunciation. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, famed as the destroyer of Kashin and the conqueror of the senses, I desire to know the true nature of samnyasa, and as distinguished from it, of tyaga too. The Blessed Lord said, Abandonment of all desire-prompted actions is samnyasa, renunciation, according to the wise. Men of discernment speak of the abandonment of the fruits of all actions as tyaga, relinquishment. Some wise men say that all action is to be abandoned as evil. Others maintain that good works like worship, charity, and practice of austerity are not to be abandoned. O the best of the Bharata race, hear my conclusive view on this subject of tyaga, relinquishment. It is said that there are 3 types of tyaga. Works like sacrifice, charity, and austerity should not be abandoned. They should be performed, for sacrifice, charity, and austerity are indeed purifying for the wise. O son of Pritha, even these works are to be performed without attachment and desire for their fruits. This is my settled and decisive view. It is not at all proper to renounce works that ought to be done as duty. Their abandonment out of delusion is considered to be of the nature of tamas. Those who give up work out of a dread of physical suffering, out of a feeling that it is painful, they, performing relinquishment of a rajasa nature, do not obtain the results of true relinquishment. But, O Arjuna, that relinquishment is considered as sattvika, which consists in giving up attachment and thoughts of returns in respect of works, and which is done with the feeling that it is an obligatory duty that must necessarily be performed. The relinquisher, if he is endowed with the qualities of sattva, wisdom, and conviction in regard to the spiritual ideal, never avoids duties merely because they are unpleasant, nor does he get attached to works that seem pleasant to him. It is not indeed possible for any embodied being to abandon works in entirety. So all that one can do is to abandon the fruits of action. One doing so is called a tyagi, or a relinquisher. Regarding those who have not relinquished their desires, they reap after death the fruits of their actions performed with desire. They are of 3 sorts: unpleasant, like degradation into animal life or stay in purgatory for the very wicked; pleasant, like attainment of heavenly felicities for the virtuous; and mixed, as in human birth, for those who have karmas of both these types to their credit. But sannyasins, true renouncers, will have none of these. Learn from me, O mighty armed, about the 5 causal factors required for all actions, as described in the Samkhya, the philosophy of spiritual illumination, which is the ultimate purpose of all actions. One's body, which is the seat of action, the ego, claiming to be the actor, the several instruments of actions, like the senses, the mind, etc., the varied and distinct types of movements involved, and finally the unknown factor as the 5th, these are the 5 causal factors. These are the 5 causal factors involved in all actions, good as also bad, which men undertake with this body, speech, and mind. That being so, he whose imperfect understanding makes him think that the self alone is the agent involved in work, he verily sees not, being perverted in outlook. He who is ever established in the feeling, I am not the agent, and whose mind is consequently unsullied by attachments, he kills not really, nor is he bound, even though he annihilates all these beings. Knowledge, object of knowledge, and knower, these constitute the 3-fold incitement to action, and the 3 constituents of action are the instruments of action, the purpose of action, and the agent. In the Samkhya philosophy dealing with the gunas and their evolutes, knowledge, action, and agent are each divided into three according to the preponderance of each guna in them. Hear of them also as they are. That knowledge by which one is able to see a unitary, unmodifiable essence, undivided among the divided, know that knowledge to be of the nature of sattva. That knowledge which apprehends all beings as a multiplicity with mutual distinction and in their separateness only, without any apprehension of an underlying unity, know that knowledge to be born of rajas. That by which one dogmatically holds on to a part as if it were the whole, a view which is irrational, untrue, and silly, that knowledge is said to be born of tamas. Work of the nature of duty, done by one without hankering for fruits and without attachment or passion or hate, such work is spoken of as born of sattva. But work that is done by a person merely for the gratification of his desire, and with great strain and a feeling of self-importance, is said to be born of rajas. And that work which is performed under delusion, without any regard to consequences, loss, injury to others, and to one's own capacity, is said to be born of tamas. A doer, or an agent of an action, who is without any attachment and sense of pride and self-importance, who is endowed with steadiness and zeal, and who is unruffled in success and failure, such a doer is said to be of the nature of sattva. A doer who is swayed by passion, who is keen on the fruits of his actions, who is covetous, cruel, and impure at heart, and who is subject to elation and depression in success and failure, such a doer is said to be of the nature of rajas. And a doer who is unsteady, vulgar, arrogant, deceitful, malicious, indolent, despondent, and procrastinating, such a doer is said to be of the nature of tamas. Hear now, O Arjuna, of the threefold division of the intellect and of the power of determination on the basis of their constituent gunas. Hear of them severally and in their totality. O son of Pritha, that intellect is said to be of the nature of sattva, which grasps the distinction between worldliness and renunciation, between the moral and the immoral, between what should be feared and what should not be, and between knowledge and freedom. O son of Pritha, that intellect is said to be of the nature of rajas, which takes a distorted and confused view of the moral and the immoral, of what should be done and what should not be. O son of Pritha, that intellect is of the nature of tamas, which, covered by the darkness of ignorance, understands the immoral as the moral, and thus reverses all values. O son of Pritha, that power of determination is of the nature of sattva, by which the mind, the vital energy, and the senses are held in control through unswerving concentration. That power of determination is of the nature of rajas, by which one holds on to duty, pleasure, and wealth with passionate attachment, motivated by the desire for their fruits. That power of determination is of the nature of tamas, due to which one of perverted intelligence does not give up sloth, fear, grief, despondency, and frenzy of sense indulgences.